Welcome back to mathematics class with Flash Isaac. In my last video, I explained ratio and proportion. I solved a few examples on ratio and proportion. So today, I'll be solving 5 strong questions under ratio and proportion. If you follow these questions and you're able to understand them, I think you should be able to solve as many questions as possible under ratio and proportion. And when you see questions, you should be able to know where they are from and at least what to do. Now look at this question. It says the ratio of the number of men to the number of women in a 20-member committee is 3:1. How many women must be added to the 20-member committee so as to make the ratio of men to women 3:2? These are the options: A 7, B 2, C 5, D 9. So in an objective exam, this is something you will see. Now, what should be the first thing to take? Said in a 20-member committee, that means the committee is made up of 20 persons. So total member equals 20. Now you said the ratio of men to women, number of men to number of men is 3:1. So men first, men 3, women 1. So 3:1. This means the total ratio is 4. 3 plus 1 is 4. So total ratio equals 4. Okay, let's see if we can deduce another thing. How many women must be added to the 20-member committee to make the ratio this? So the new ratio we want is 3:2. But before we know how many women to add to get 3:2, how many women are already in the current committee? How do we get that? We know that the total ratio is 4 and the total member of the committee is 20. This implies that number of men is equals 3 over the total ratio 4 times the total member of the committee, which is 20. So this should give you 15. So 15 men. We have 15 men in the committee. Now let's see the number of women we have in the committee. Women equals, the ratio of women is 1 over the total ratio, which is 4, that's 3 plus 1, 4, times the total member in the committee, 20. This will give us number of women. So 1 times 20 is 20, divided by 4 is 5. So we have 5 women in the committee. So this implies that in a committee of 20 members, we have 15 men and 5 women. If you actually add it, you will see you will get 20. That means it's correct. So we are told that we need to make the ratio now. New ratio equals 3:2. So now let's compare the new ratio to the old ratio. New ratio is 3:2 of men to women. Old ratio is 3:1. If you look at this, it means the number of men is constant. We are not touching the number of men. So we are being asked to shift the ratio to make the number of women, to double the number of women. Because the number of women is 1 here, we want to make it 2. That means we are doubling the number of women. So we can simply say we already have 5 women. So once you double the number of women, you have 10. So that means we need to add 5 women. Add 5 women to make it 3:2. We solved for a committee of 20 people in the ratio of 3:1. So after solving, we discovered that there were 15 men in the committee and 5 women in the committee, which is 3:1. We are told how many women are we to add to make the ratio 3:2. It was 3:1. So, and in 3:1, we have 15 men and 5 women. So to make it 3:2, men is unaffected, which is the ratio remains 3, and from 1 to 2 is double, it has doubled. So that means we need to double the number of women. 5 plus 5 is 10. So we now have 10 women. So when you solve for this, 5 divided by 15 is 3, 5 divided by 10 is 2. So this will end up still giving you 3:2. So that is it for that question. Now look at these 3 beautiful questions. The first one says, if S/Y is equals 2:3 and Y/Z is equals 4:7, find S/Y/Z. Okay, look at these questions. If S/Y equals 2:3 and Y/Z equals 4:7, find S/Y/Z. Now let's analyze the question. Let's analyze the question. S/Y. Remember, I told you that you can change ratios to fraction. S/Y is the same thing as S over Y, and they say it equals 2:3, which is 2/3. And Y/Z, which is Y over Z, is equals 4:7, which is 4/7. Now, we are told to find S/Y/Z. So this is what we are told to look for. If you look at this ratio, S/Y, Y/Z, you notice that Y is repeated. S1, Z2. So this implies that we can simply look for the value of Y. If we're able to get the value of Y, it will be easy for us to substitute and get other values. Now, look at what I'm trying to say. Since S over Y is equals 2/3, if you bring something like this, if you must cross multiply this, you now have something like this. S times 3 is 3S is equals Y times 2 is 2Y, right? Good. So making Y a subject formula or dividing both sides by 2/2/2, this cancels this. This implies that Y is equals 3S/2. Does it make sense to you? Good. Now let's call this equation 1, 2. From equation 2, we can say that Y over Z is equals 4/7 and cross multiply. When you do this, Z times 4 will give you 4Z equals Y times 7 equals 7Y. So this is how to cross multiply. I'm sure you are used to this. So if you don't know about cross multiplication, you can still let me know. So dividing both sides by 7, 7 cancels 7. We are now left with Y equals 4Z/7. You can say 4Z/7. Good. Y is equals this and Y is equals this. This implies that this is equals this. Therefore, 3S/2 is equals 4Z/7. So we still cross multiply. 3S times 7 will give you 21S equals 2 times 4Z will give you 8Z. Therefore, S is equals 8z over 21. Over 21. And we've gotten y is equals 2s, 3s over 2. Same thing as s over z is equals 8 over 21. So with this, we have s equals 8 and we have z equals 21. So substitute this value of s as 8 in this equation. We'll have something like this. 8 over y is equals 2 over 3. 2 times y is 2y is equals 8 times 3 is 24 equals 24. Therefore, y is equals 12. 3, z is 21. So s ratio y ratio z is equals s is 8 ratio y is 12, z is 21. The ratio of boys to girls in a school is 7 ratio 5. So that means boys, girls, 7 ratio 5. So girls 120. Girls, how many boys are in the school? So boys is equals question. The first thing we should do here is to check the total ratio. What is the total ratio? It's simply by adding them. So 7 plus 5 is simply equals 12. So this is the total ratio. And remember, when we are solving ratio, this implies that boys is equals 7 over 12 times total number of students, or total number. Like I said in the last video, you may want to watch that. Then girls is equals 5 over 12 times total number of, or total we don't know, we can make it t, but the number of girls we know. 120 is equals 5 over 12 times t, where t is the total. This is the same thing as 120 is equals 5t over 12. Cross this, we have something like this. 120 times 12 is equals 5t. T is equals 120 times 12 over 5. So 120 times 12 is, and this should give you, since we have total number is 288 of boys, you can simply say 288 minus 120, which will give you 168, which will give you 168. Or you can simply say, okay, boys is 7 over 12 times 288. This will still give you 168. So that is the number of boys in the school. So let's see the fourth question. So the fourth question says the triangle are in the four side beside A, Let the second side be side B, and let the third side, you can name it anything you like. And the perimeter is 38 cm. Perimeter is 38 cm. So in this case, we are taking the perimeter as total. When you solve for the three sides, you get what? 38 cm. Find the sides. I think this is a very simple question. It's something we can solve. Given the total. So leave the grammar, leave the perimeter, leave the triangle. They gave us the ratio, they gave us the total. And I told you that it means side A is occupying 4 over total ratio. And the total ratio is equals 4 plus 7 plus 8. 4 plus 7 is 11. 11 plus 8 is 19. So the total ratio is 19. That means side A is 4 over total, which is 19 times the total distance. That will give you the value of side A. Side B is 7 over 19 total ratio times perimeter 38. C 8 over 19 times 38. So side A will be 8 cm. Side B will be 14 cm. And side C will be, so the sides are 8 cm, 14 cm, and 16 cm. Now, it says 22,000 naira between 6 people so that 5 of them get twice the 6th person. This question requires wisdom. Now, total amount to be divided is 22,000 naira. So let's put that total amount is equals. Now, to be divided between 6 people. So that 6 persons, this shows that we need to have 6 ratio. If you are sharing for 6 persons, that is 6 ratio. That means A ratio B ratio C ratio D ratio E ratio F. That's 6. So this is Mr. A, Mr. B, Mr. C, Mr. D, Mr. E, Mr. F. So these are the 6 persons. So these 5 are getting the same amount. This one is getting half. So if A is getting 10 naira, B will get 10 naira, C will get 10 naira, D will get 10 naira, E will get 10 naira, but F will not get 5 naira. Get twice this. So choose a ratio. While for the 5th one will not be half the ratio. Let's give the first one. Let's say, okay, the first one takes 4 ratio 4 ratio 4 ratio 4 ratio 4. Then what will be the, what will F now take? 2, which is half. So that's what the question talks about. So the 6th half of are taking. So now that we have this, to solve we are getting, the first thing to do is let's find the total ratio. This will give us 4 plus 4 8 plus 4 plus 8 16 plus 4 20 plus 2 22. So total ratio equals 22. Now this implies that the amount A will collect is 4 over the total ratio times the total amount to be shared. So A will take 4 over 22 times 22,000. This should give you 4,000 naira. So A will take 4,000 naira. B will take 4, the same amount. So B will still take 4,000 naira. 4 D E F will take 2/22 times 22,000 naira. If this, you should get 2,000 naira. So this has shown us that F is actually getting half. The ratio is 2. F is getting 2,000 naira. If you add everything here, 4,000 naira plus 4,000 plus 4,000 plus 4,000 plus 4,000 plus 2,000, it will give you 22,000 naira. I hope you enjoyed the topic so far. Alright, watch my next video for